Panic to the motorcyclist is definitely something that is not welcomed. Even the most experienced riders can be reduced to a frozen mess if they let panic take over. And when that rider is straddling a machine travelling at high speed, usually the results are unfavourable. In this video, we're going to be talking about what triggers panic, along with how you can put yourself in a better position to deal with it or possibly avoid it altogether. Given the nature of this sport, its elements of danger, and the fact that panic is something brought on from natural survival instinct, you would be hard-pressed to find someone who is completely exempt from falling into a panic situation. However, simply saying don't panic is pretty useless advice, so what I want to do for you here is give you the information needed to minimise the chance of it happening, as well as teach you how to deal with such an event should it occur. First, let's look at what typically causes panic. There'll be many instances in life where you experience panic, but out there on track, the triggers for a panic situation will normally be linked to speed and surprise situations. A surprise situation could be one of two things. The first is something happening uncharacteristically that you didn't expect. For example, a sudden and seemingly random loss in traction, something on the track ahead of you, or maybe a rider making a mistake in front. The second type of surprise situation will be down to an instance where your skills, normally your visual ones, will let you down and your lack of awareness will leave you in a bad situation. Something along the lines of getting into a corner too fast, resulting in you heading off the track. The surprise isn't necessarily what brings about the panic though. A rider could come past you at speed and surprise you, but you wouldn't necessarily panic. The panic sets in when the surprise brings with it a sense of impending doom. For example, I'm going to run off the track, or I'm going to hit that hazard. The hazard, coupled with the short amount of perceived time the rider has to deal with it, is what really has that panic setting in. So let's take a look at the in too fast panic situation. As I said, the first type of panic will be related to speed, which 99% of the time will mean too much of it. In my target fixation video, we discovered that I myself have been a victim of this very kind of panic, and my results mimicked countless scenarios played out by many other riders. Just to recap, for those that didn't see it, I was left with the overwhelming feeling that I was going in too fast and wouldn't make this particular corner. As a result, I target fixated on the outside of the track, the exact spot where I didn't want to go, froze completely and ended up at that precise spot where I was looking. This in too fast panic sensation is something that many riders will face as they look to progress and break their barriers. That being said, the sensations you feel aren't always aligned with what is happening in reality, which begs the question, were you really going too fast? It was Keith Code of the California Superbike School who said it can take only a few extra miles per hour at corner entry to bring on the sensation of too much speed, as little as 2 miles per hour in fact. Just knowing that, and the fact that it would take just a tiny bit more braking effort to remove that extra speed, should go a long way to removing the overblown feeling of too much speed for the corner, and the feeling that you need to slow down to a crawl to feel safe again. Now, I can understand if someone completely misses the braking marker to the point where a world champion couldn't even get it stopped, but that's rarely the case. So how do we deal with surprise situations? Those who saw my target fixation video will probably correctly guess it's in the eyes. It will predominantly be your eyes and your vision that gets you out of these situations should you get into them. Again, your instinct will have you looking squarely at the thing that's going to cause you harm, leading to target fixation. But what you have to do is look where you want to go, not where you don't. But beating this natural reaction isn't easy, so it's something you just have to drill into your head and hope that your subconscious mind kicks in to remind you to do it should it need to be done. Can we avoid these situations altogether? A lot of what we're talking about here can be avoided just by making better decisions. A failure in technique can be excused for getting you into a panic situation simply because you didn't know any better, but I see countless problems created by riders through bad decision making. Do you really need to pass all 5 riders ahead of you to get into the next corner? And do you really need to try and knock 10 seconds off your lap time simply by pushing way too far past your previous limits? You can if you want to, but don't be surprised if you end up in more sticky situations than most other riders do. Now, I've made this point in the past, but just by learning about good technique and track craft and then implementing that knowledge with a sensible head will cut out the vast majority of errors made out on track. However, to really enjoy track riding, go faster and get better as motorcycle riders, we must push past our limits. Because of this, we will never truly eradicate panic and stop bad things from happening. In the end, learning about panic and what causes it, coupled with taking the time to learn and practice good technique, is your best game plan for dealing with and avoiding panic situations. Well, actually, riding around at 20 miles per hour all day is going to be your best game plan, but that isn't much fun, is it? Okay, that wraps up our look at panic, what causes it and how you can deal with it. If you like this video, then please support the channel by liking and sharing below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more performance riding advice and guides moving forward. As always, I'll see you in the next one.